WROC, Channel 8, Rochester. Live from WROC, Channel 8, this is Eyewitness News.
An automobile accident in Ogden kills 2 and leaves 2 others injured, and now authorities are still trying to identify the bodies. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us this Saturday night. Here's what's about that story. A police officer at the scene described that car involved as a ball of fire. That after a 2-car collision late last night that left 2 people dead and seriously injured 2 others. Authorities are still trying to identify the badly burned bodies of the driver and the passenger that were killed after their car crashed into another vehicle on Brockport-Spencerport Road. It happened after 10 last night. The car they crashed into was that of William and Dolores Pugh of Spencerport. They were both taken to area hospitals by helicopter and are still being treated for their injuries tonight. The driver and passenger of the other car did not survive, and their names are not yet known. All that is known at this point is that the car was traveling at a high rate of speed. Police are continuing their investigation. Another Rochester family is without a working furnace tonight. It is another case of carbon monoxide leaking from a faulty furnace. But as Eyewitness News reporter Patricia Johnson tells us, this local family considers themselves fortunate.
We're very lucky. Thank God we're alive. It's the holiday time, and it's really scary.
On Thursday, during a routine service call at the home of Marilyn and Alphonse Soto, an RG&E serviceman discovered the Soto's 45-year-old furnace was seeping carbon monoxide, a potentially life-threatening situation. He immediately shut it down.
It's odorless, tasteless, and colorless, and that's, of course, one of the problems.
George Lappin is with Rochester Gas and Electric.
It affects people in various ways, but typically in larger concentrations, people might develop a nausea, some of the symptoms that may be similar to a flu.
The Sotos suspect their furnace hasn't been functioning properly for at least 3 winters, because during that time, Marilyn has been ill a lot.
Vomiting, bad headaches, I would feel tired. Sometimes I just want to lay down in bed and sleep all day.
Earlier this week, 10-year-old Amy Pliss died of carbon monoxide poisoning due to a faulty furnace. Since then, RG&E has been swamped with calls from anxious homeowners.
Our main concern is the safety, and we will perform safety checks on people's furnaces on request.
The Sotos have been using a space heater to keep warm until they get a new furnace, but they're not complaining.
We could have lost our home. Could have had a fire. We could have died in the fire. In the fumes itself, we could have died from it.
The experts say have your furnace checked by a contractor at least once a year. It's a simple precaution, but one that might save your life. In Rochester, Patricia Johnson, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
And RG&E tells us it only costs about $30 to $50 to have your furnace cleaned and inspected. Unfortunately for the Sotos, they need a new furnace, and that's going to cost $2,600. Elsewhere in the news tonight, the Rochester Red Wings have closed the books on 1992, and officials say the numbers are just further proof that the team needs a new home. Attendance at Silver Stadium this year was down 29% from a year ago, and the team is reporting an operating loss of $300,000. That's nearly double the average loss for the team in the past 4 years. The only reason the team will show a small net profit is because of fees it's received related to baseball expansion. Red Wing board members trying to select a new site for a stadium are scheduled to meet once again in 2 weeks. Hundreds of Rochester families waited in long lines outside this morning to receive a free holiday basket. Volunteers of America handed out 1,200 baskets to those in need today. Each basket includes a turkey with all the trimmings and small gifts for children. This was all made possible thanks to the goodwill of so many wonderful people who have responded to the 8 Caring Gifts campaign, sponsored by Channel 8 and the Volunteers of America. In addition, another 200 families have been adopted through this very same campaign. And I should like to remind you it's still not too late to brighten a family's holiday. If you'd like more information about the 8 Caring Gifts campaign, give us a call here at the station. Or if you like, call Volunteers of America at 454-1154. Members of the Rochester Police Department, incidentally, were also out helping those less fortunate today. Also, they were there delivering food baskets to residents in the city's lake section. The holiday food drive is sponsored each year through Act 1, Against Crime Together, a community crime prevention service that involves police and residents and area merchants. 100 baskets were delivered today. Jews around the world begin the celebration of Hanukkah tonight. Here in Rochester, at this very hour, ceremonies are underway. The first candle to be lit on this giant menorah at Washington Square Park, downtown. Monroe County Executive Bob King expected to be on hand for this official lighting. Traditional holiday food to be served. There will be toys and candy for the children. 2 other giant menorahs have also been erected by the Jewish organization Chabad Lubavitch, one at 12 Corners Plaza in Brighton, the other at Wegmans in Pittsford Plaza. Of course, the holidays are certainly a time when many families and friends all get together. Well, in East Irondequoit, it's also time for one whole neighborhood to get together and join in the holiday spirit.
They call themselves the Harwick Road Caroliers.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Some fine-tuning at rehearsal this afternoon at the home of Shirley Herrick in preparation for tonight's caroling on Harwick Road and other neighboring streets.
I think it's just a showing of how we care for each other and we have a good time, with each other.
Shirley's block on Harwick is beautifully decorated for the holidays and for a contest now underway. The winner will be announced after tonight's caroling. This is the second year, by the way, that this group has gone caroling. But there are many other events the neighborhood block participates in.
Like Shirley says, we go into a Halloween party, which we usually have for the kids too. And then there's decorations out for them. We'll have the Christmas party and the caroling going now. We have the Easter party for them.
Always something going on. This is one neighborhood that watches out for each other and has fun throughout the year.
Should be a great night, too, and those voices will ring out loud and clear. Well, we'll find out for sure as we say hello to Mike Littell, standing by in our weather center. They shouldn't have any problem, should they?
Not quite, Jerry. During the next few hours, we should remain mainly dry. We do have a little bit of precipitation moving in for tomorrow. If we take a look at the northeast satellite picture, you can see why. There are actually cloudy skies and perhaps a few breaks around. You can see we're the only ones that are experiencing some breaks in the clouds. Most of the clouds to the south and west of us, in fact, there are actually some rain showers falling from the skies in Detroit. That will be the case for the overnight hours. Mainly cloudy skies with temperatures not too bad for this time of year, holding generally in the lower to middle 40s. Now, when we come back in the complete weather segment, we'll take a look at tomorrow's forecast, the extended outlook, and a sneak peek towards Christmas Eve, what you can expect for your holiday. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Jerry?
See you then, Mike. A shave and a haircut from Santa? Well, that story's just ahead. And in tonight's movie review, Dennis Cunningham has high marks for A Few Good Men. We'll be back.
Rosa & Sullivan's giant Super Week sale is on now with super savings on all color TVs and audio, video, computers, major appliances, and more. The super sale at Rosa & Sullivan.
A bigger choice, a better choice. You know who it is, don't you? Tops Friendly Markets, right? Why do we think it's important to offer a bigger choice of products at better prices? Because you want to make your shopping dollars count, and that means finding the brands you want at the prices you like in every department every day. A bigger choice, a better choice. It's not just our slogan, it's our promise to you, Rochester. Thank you for choosing Tops.
Hi, I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not. You're Joe Piscopo. Well, anyway, I want to let you know something special. Bally has a great $99 one-year holiday gift certificate, and it's only available by phone. Step aerobics, life cycles, the 30-minute workout. Order one for your friend or your spouse now, or order one for yourself and go guilt-free through the holidays.
You look better in the beard, Joe.
An alternate day membership. Advanced credit card payment required. Hurry. Offer ends December 23rd. Call 1-800-FITNESS.
Well, Santa was busy today, not wrapping presents this time, but rather cutting hair. From 9 to 5 today, Santa and his elves gave free haircuts to good girls and boys. It's style design. Actually, that salon owner, Randy Cohn, under the Santa suit, says it's just a nice way to get everybody into the holiday spirit. And besides, everybody loves Santa, old and young alike. In addition to the free haircuts, profits from the sale of all products today go directly to the Crestwood Children's Center. Well, the holiday movie season, of course, as you might imagine, is also in full swing. The time of year when the studios release what they hope will be the year's blockbusters. Dennis Cunningham now has already found one. Tonight he reviews A Few Good Men.
As a Broadway play, yes, it was a Broadway play, A Few Good Men was somewhat successful, but not all that impressive. though it had been sold to the movies before it opened on Broadway. Well, I'd say that Broadway and film producer David Brown and his friends at Castle Rock knew just what they were up to. That's what I'd say, because A Few Good Men, the movie, is a stirring, rousing, rip-roaring success. Thanks to, well, the director Rob Reiner, star Tom Cruise. This is his finest performance ever, easily. A superb supporting cast headed by the great Jack Nicholson and Demi Moore and others, and most especially a sharply focused, compelling rewriting of the play by Reiner and playwright Aaron Sorkin.
I don't think you're fit to handle the defense.
You don't even know me. Ordinarily, it takes someone hours to discover I'm not fit to handle a defense.
Tom Cruise is a charmingly glib, lightweight Navy lawyer who is given a case with Demi Moore as special counsel because it is hoped the case will simply go away. However, this trial of two Marines accused of murdering a colleague does not go away for 2 hours and 20 minutes. In fact, it builds as terrific entertainment, involving the maturing and strengthening of the young lawyer's character, as well as a study of loyalty and honor and integrity, and most especially involving an intense conflict between the young lawyer and the arrogant veteran Marine colonel who may himself be the true murderer.
And now you think you can get him to just say it? I think he wants to say that he made a command decision and that's the end of it. And no one's going to tell him how to run his unit, least of all the Harvard mouth. I need to shake him, put him on the defensive, and lead him right where he's dying to go.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal. Oh, yes, I did say 2 hours and 20 minutes. I did say that, but though this movie lags, twice, maybe 3 times, it always comes roaring back. Nicholson, by the way, is in only 3 scenes. That's it, but Lord, what an impact there. Rob Reiner's direction is picture perfect and chiefly responsible, I think, for the final just about perfect 9 to the picture called A Few Good Men. I'm Dennis Cunningham for CBS News.
Sounds like a good one, doesn't it? Meteorologist Mike Latella says, don't be fooled by today's nice weather. Cool air on the way, along with some of that white stuff. Anyway, he'll have the forecast for you in a minute. And later, we're going to climb aboard the Santa train.
Hi there, struggling artists. We are the local company with the greatest variety and truest of art sales. Hundreds of original oil paintings for as low as $5. We've rolled back to our 1981 prices. No sofa-sized painting over $35. No sofa-sized frame over $35. For only $35, you can make your walls smile. This Sunday, only 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Radisson and Jefferson Road. Only $35. Only $35.
There's never been a tissue like new Ultra Soft Puffs.
It's amazing. This is like a powder puff. I have just discovered something that is really great.
4 out of 5 people prefer the softness of new Puffs over the leading regular tissue.
This is softer tissue. Here. It's really, really soft. Oh, that is soft.
Soft enough to make you switch?
Once you use Puffs, you'll never go back to anything else. The whole brand is history. I am definitely switching to Puffs.
Switch to new Ultra Soft Puffs. So soft, they're like first aid for your sore nose.
Nobody takes my Puffs.
Your teeth aren't flat, are they? Of course not. If they were, a flat brush would be ideal. But since your teeth are shaped like this, we designed our brush like this. Introducing Crest Complete. Your dentist uses special instruments that get between teeth. Crest Complete gets between too, up to 37% farther than the leading flat bristle brush. So to help maintain a dentist clean at home, get new Crest Complete. Only Crest could make a brush this complete.
I could feel a difference the first time I showered.
My skin feels clean, smooth.
My skin feels really soft. What was I using?
Introducing a whole new way to take care of your skin. New Ivory.
This is not the same Ivory.
Unlike soap, New Ivory helps your skin keep its natural moisture. Feel the difference the first time you use it.
There was definitely a difference the first time. Definitely a difference.
New Ivory. Feel the difference the first time.
You know, I love feeling that soft.
Don't think we get any complaints from anybody about today, but you about to lay some...
Somewhat.
Some
yeah.
You can.
Yeah. Mid-40s, December, Rochester.
Not bad.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will be returning to more seasonable type conditions tomorrow. So the nice day that we had today with the high of 46. Sorry, folks, I can't even make it last any more than one day here in Rochester. 29, your normal low. Again, 12 degrees above normal. Right now on the outside, mainly cloudy skies with a few breaks here and there. 42 degrees, still mild, still nice. Humidity 71%. Winds out of the east-southeast at 7, and the pressure is falling. Here are your conditions from across the Weather Watcher network. Still balmy for this time of year. Temperatures in the 40s, a few spots in the upper 30s, but all in all, a very nice evening. Now, on the satellite picture, you can see why we have the nice weather moving in the region. The clouds moved off to the northeast, but as you can see, they're not really a very thick cloud deck, so not a completely overcast, and you might see a couple of stars, at least for the next couple of hours or so. Here's a little bit of a break in the action, but further to the west, more clouds are moving in, and they will be moving in here over the next couple of hours or so. Again, as I mentioned in the first weather, there was some rain being reported in Detroit. Well, they actually have a temperature of about 43, 44 degrees. So it's still mild even back to the west. On the broader scale, you can see the clouds moving off to the east, beginning to get a little bit of moisture from the Gulf, but I do believe that most of the precipitation and the heavier stuff will stay to the south of us. Nothing for us to worry about. Some of this clearing will begin to work in for Monday, so not the greatest day shaping up for tomorrow. You can actually see a little bit of a front right in here. That has to get through, and will do so. When it does, we will see some clearing developing. Now, on the radar perspective, the precipitation moving to the east, a little bit of snow shower activity. Actually, that probably is rain shower activity in the northern corner of Pennsylvania. Here's the front pushing through Chicago. That will be in here over the next couple of hours or so. For tomorrow, though, that front will move quickly to the east. Winds come around to the west. What that means for us is cooler weather and a little bit of light lake snow activity. I'm not looking for much, maybe an inch or so at most in some spots, but generally not that bad of a day. The high will be building in, clearing us out. A nice day setting up for Monday. But again, the cold air begins to work its way in. We're not going to see any single digits for a while, but 30s will be the rule for tomorrow. Now, if you're talking holidays, Christmas, right around the corner, well, it's still a few days off, but this is the third consecutive computer model run, the third consecutive day that has suggested this scenario. So as it gets closer to the big day, beginning to believe this a little bit more closely, we do expect the front will be off the coast, winds coming around that. We could have some lake effect snow kicking in Christmas Eve night. So the odds of a white Christmas have been increasing. Again, this is the third straight day of this scenario being painted by our long-range models. One thing for sure, folks, it will be cold on Christmas Day around here. Bills weather a little bit different this week. Since the end of the season, games are becoming more and more important other than the Bills games. The Bills are playing indoors. The Jets are playing in Miami. I think a lot of folks are going to be Jet fans this weekend, including myself, of course. If they win, that'll kick Miami down a little bit. Fair 75. The Vikings are playing in Pittsburgh. A few flurries down there. And 38 degrees. The forecast for us here in Rochester, nothing like Miami. Cloudy skies, breezy, a little bit of light rain. Developing later on tonight, changing to light snow, minor accumulation if anything. Most of the hills to the south of I-90 could pick up an inch or so. Now for tomorrow, cloudy and breezy. Some lake snows developing. Again, possibility of an inch or so, but nothing much for us to worry about. Temperatures will be chilly, probably holding generally in the middle 30s. Extended outlook for the next couple of days or so shows the nicest day of the week. Well, probably a tie between Monday and Wednesday with a little bit of snow activity coming in for Tuesday, but no big deal. Nothing major in the world of weather coming up for the next couple of days. Again, a very, very cold period moving in around Christmas time.
As you suggest, I mean, look at the calendar, you know where you are. So that's what we got to be. Thank you, Michael. Jim Noble with sports. A lot of football this afternoon.
The forecast in New York, puzzling.
Okay.
Couldn't figure it out. Coming back, we're back on the floor with high school basketball. The Bills head down to New Orleans, and do you believe it? All smiles today for Ray Hanley and the Giants. We'll tell you why. Sports is next.
You gotta hit the ground running. Better kick out dirt.
It's Truck Month at your local Ford dealer. That means big deals, big cash back, and big option savings on the #1 selling trucks in America. Save on the all-new redesigned Ford Ranger, the #1 sport utility Ford Explorer, and the best-selling pickup 15 years running, Ford F-Series. Get your biggest savings on America's tough trucks during Truck Month at your local Ford dealer.
If you're like most people, the weekly trip to the supermarket represents a major portion of your household budget. You want real value for your dollars. You want to be able to choose the brands you trust and the sizes you need. One local supermarket, Tops Friendly Markets, offers bigger choices of brand name products. Tops, a bigger choice, a better choice.
No wonder more and more people are shopping at Tops.
Ryder's Furniture Warehouse Outlet is going to change the way you shop for furniture. It all starts with our good, better, best pricing policy. It's your guarantee of lower prices on an enormous selection of quality name brand furniture to fit your lifestyle, whatever your budget. Sure, we've got easy financing with no money down, no payments, no interest, and fast delivery like the other guys. But the difference at Ryder's is the low price, so save some money. Shop Ryder's today, now with 4 locations. It's Ryder's Furniture Warehouse Outlet.
A lot of folks said it couldn't be done, coming out with a light sausage that was pure pork. But we went ahead and did it anyway. We're proud to introduce Bob Evans Country Light Sausage, 90% fat-free. Pretty remarkable. Pure pork, too. That's what folks like. Not a speck of filler anywhere. Just pop them in a microwave. Simple idea. Want leaner sausage? Use leaner pork. Yep, simple, still the best. Come on, let's eat.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
Did you tell me you're ready to talk about the movie, then what you're going to talk about, or are you just joshing me?
The Giants were a few good men today.
Yeah, they were.
Was this the final game that Ray Hanley would coach at Giants Stadium? That seemed to be a given, as the Giants wound down one of their most disappointing seasons ever today against the Chiefs. New York hasn't won since this guy, Lawrence Taylor, went down in Week 10, but they did have Jeff Hostetler back. First quarter, Hostetler to Mark Ingram, 21 yards, 7-0 New York. Now, just before the half, the Haas hits Chris Callaway. Great catch in the end zone. 21-7 Giants at the half. Then the Rodney Hampton show began. The third touchdown run for Hampton, a 20-yarder, and you figure them out, folks. Giants 35, Chiefs 21. Now let's go out west where the Niners can lock up home field advantage by beating Tampa Bay, but the Bucs had other ideas. 4th and 1. Reggie Cobb makes it a 14-14 ball game. Now later in the fourth, Steve Young up top to guess who? Jerry Rice, 30 yards, Rice's second score, and then Niners take it 21-14. Meanwhile, the Bills have one more day to prepare for what should be a major test down in the Superdome tomorrow against the New Orleans Saints. Now, it won't be an easy one, not going up against perhaps the league's premier defense, so the Bills have to treat this one almost as a playoff game.
We've been in a situation where we had to travel a lot and in the playoffs, and we didn't get very far. And we know how valuable home field is, and so we're just starting our playoff season a little early.
Now, the only college football game today, the 1AA championship, Marshall over Youngstown State, 31-28. Let's go inside now. A couple of high school basketball tournaments taking place right here in Rochester. We'll start over at East. John Marshall and Westdale of Ontario in the East tournament. That's Derek Frazier. He had 25 today for Marshall. Now check out Tony Alvarado. Pickpocket there. Steals, takes it all the way. Marshall rolls 90-60. In the other game, Quincy Jones 25 East over Turner Carroll of Buffalo, 79-65. West Side Classic, Roberts, Wesleyan, Churchville, Chile, and Hilton. That was Matt Vaccarella for the Saints, but Hilton would hold on. Sean Carter to John Barry on the baseline. Hilton by 2, 65-63. One other game in that tournament. Edison 3 better than Spencerport. More games tonight at Roberts Wesleyan. The Syracuse Orangemen take their perfect 6-0 record back into the Carrier Dome tonight. Count on it being 7-0. The Orange face Wagner at 8 o'clock. Top 25 action this afternoon. Number 16, Georgia Tech hosting number 22, Louisville. Heath Legree to Clifford Rozier. Big time jam. Louisville led by 1 with 2 seconds left. Tech has the ball out. James Forrest gets it at the buzzer. You can count the three-pointer. Tech by 2, 87-85. Elsewhere, Indiana over Cincinnati. Florida State takes care of UNC Charlotte. The Amerks head to Utica tonight for a rematch with the Devils, and hopefully last night, Rochester learned a valuable lesson. The Amerks blew a 3-0 lead, let Utica tie it up, and had to go to OT before Dan Frawley won it from the top of the crease right there for a 4-3 win. The Amerks have now won 9 straight at the War Memorial. 2 afternoon games in the National Hockey League. Eric Lindros returns. Philadelphia beats Chicago, and the Islanders beat Pittsburgh 4-3. And Jerry heavyweight champ Riddick Bowe will have his first title defense February 6th against Michael Dokes for the gross national product of a small nation, I think. About $7 million.
Oh, is that all? Thank you, Jim. Final check on tonight's weather. Mike will be back in just a bit, and then we'll find out how Santa got around today. We're going to take the train. Be right back.
happens at the worst time. A sudden attack of diarrhea. And you'd give anything to get back in control. Introducing Pepto Diarrhea Control. It's made with the strongest diarrhea medicine you can buy. So it often stops diarrhea the first time you take it. Nothing works better than this. And this is from Pepto-Bismol. Take control with new Pepto Diarrhea Control.
Hi. Hi. My baby blanket.
Yeah, my dog must have gotten it off your clothesline. I'm really sorry. I tried to wash it, but look.
Oh.
Yeah, these grass stains won't ever come out now that it's been through the dryer. Let me pay for it.
No, let me try this new Tide first.
Introducing ultra-intensified new ultra-liquid Tide. With a little help from Tide, even dryer set-in stains disappear without a trace.
Hey, it's really clean.
If I'd have known about this Tide stuff, you wouldn't have known about the grass stains.
New ultra-intensified liquid Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
Lauer's Furniture Holiday Sale is now in progress. Shop now through Sunday for holiday savings of 20 to 70%. Buy a complete living room, dining room, or bedroom set from Lauer's fine furniture galleries at holiday savings of 20 to 70% and receive a free Lane cedar chest or Bassett recliner with Lauer's immediate free delivery and no payment or interest for 90 days. Lauer's Furniture Holiday Sale, Lauer's, Monroe Avenue.
Just in time for Christmas, The Source has lowered their prices even more. At The Source, we always save you 40% on diamonds, 50% on earrings, and 60% on gold chains and charms. Now, you'll save an extra 20% on gold charms, an extra 25% on gold herringbone and Figaro chain, and an extra 35% on gold rope chain. Don't get mauled. Get going to The Source.
At the Source.
One more Santa story for you today. Santa traded in his reindeer for a train. It was all aboard in Ontario today for Santa and Mrs. Claus. You see, they came to town by rail thanks to the Ontario Walworth Rotary Club, which presented its annual train ride with Santa. There were 3 departure times. Once on board, Santa and his helpers passed out treats. They sang to the children. I wish I was on that train. I bet they had a great time. Santa says the 1-hour rides were very, very comfortable, but he has no plans of trading in his reindeer and his sleigh. And that makes me very happy to hear. I mean, it's okay to do something like that.
A lot of people riding trains this year.
Yeah. Gotta come like he always does on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about tonight. We've got a ways to go before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, not a bad night on tap. Most of the activity in the form of precipitation should wait probably towards after midnight, so a dry night is on tap. However, it will arrive overnight. Some light snow during the morning hours, not a big deal. Figure about 33. But staying in the mid-30s during the day tomorrow. So a chillier day than we had today.
Winter is here. Thanks, Mike. Jim, final word?
Perhaps Santa has a present for John Wallace and the Syracuse Orangemen under the tree tonight. Also, Amherst, Knicks, and Sabres are all in action this evening.
Okay, that's our report for now. Thanks for watching. We're going to leave you with some more music from the Harwick Road Caroliers. They're probably really out there doing their thing right now around their neighborhood, singing to everybody. This was an earlier rehearsal. Have a good evening. We'll see you later tonight on 11 at 11.
Eyewitness News, sponsored by Rochester Tel-Mobile, providing cellular and paging services in the
Rockiest cuts of tender lean beef, enormously hearty noodles, the colossal taste of carrots, all in a tidal wave of savory beef broth. Get ready for chunks big enough for a fork, but use a big spoon to get every mouth-watering beefy bite. New chunky beef noodle, soup so big, it eats like a meal.
A bigger choice, a better choice. You know who it is, don't you? Tops Friendly Markets, right? Why do we think it's important to offer a bigger choice of products at better prices? Because you want to make your shopping dollars count, and that means finding the brands you want at the prices you like in every department, every day. A bigger choice, a better choice. It's not just our slogan. It's our promise to you, Rochester. Thank you for choosing Tops.
Care to solve the puzzle?
I'm a wheel watcher. I'm a wheel watcher. It's a marriage affair.
Turn to Wheel of Fortune, Monday at 7 on Channel 8. WROC, Channel 8, Rochester.
Live from WROC Channel 8, this is Eyewitness News. 11 at 11.
And tonight, authorities are still trying to make positive identification of the two men killed in a motor vehicle accident last night in the town of Ogden. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is your 11-minute uninterrupted look at today's top news, weather, and sports. With that accident, a two-car collision late last night left 2 people dead, 2 others seriously injured, and authorities this evening are still trying to make positive identification of the badly burned bodies of the driver and passenger who died after their car crashed into another vehicle on Brockport-Spencerport Road in the town of Ogden. William and Dolores Pugh of Spencerport were in that other car and were both taken to area hospitals by helicopter. They are both listed in satisfactory condition tonight. Police had been chasing the 2 men in the other car, but had given up that chase long before the collision occurred. Officials are still investigating the accident. And 3 people suffered minor injuries in what was reported to be a 2-car pileup on the inner loop this evening. Police say one vehicle was headed the wrong way on the inner loop, causing a head-on collision. That happened just after 7 o'clock. The 3 victims were transported by National Ambulance to Highland and Strong Memorial Hospitals. No other details available at this time. Police are continuing their investigation into that mishap. A Rochester family very thankful to be alive tonight and also discovering that their 45-year-old furnace has been seeping carbon monoxide. On Thursday, a RG&E serviceman paid a visit to the Soto family on Hollister Street. A routine visit, but one that turned up to be a serious and possibly life-threatening problem.
I told him I've been sick for a while with vomiting and headaches, and he said that could be contributing to the sickness.
If there's a serious safety problem that we detect there, we shut the furnace down and what they call red tag it and tell the customer that they should immediately get in touch with the contractor.
Earlier this week, a 10-year-old Pittsford girl died of carbon monoxide poisoning due to a faulty furnace. RG&E recommends that homeowners have their furnaces checked by a contractor at least once a year. Elsewhere in news, the Rochester Red Wings have closed the books in 1992 now, and officials say the numbers are just further proof the team needs a new home. Attendance at Silver Stadium this year was down 29% from a year ago, and the team is reporting a loss of $300,000. The only reason the Red Wings will show a small net profit is because of fees it has received related to baseball expansion. Red Wings board members are scheduled to meet again in 2 weeks. In America tonight, while the government moves toward protecting you from shaky banks, the man who's going to be running it all is talking about making changes in Social Security. President-elect Bill Clinton is already taking some heat. Deborah Potter now reporting from Little Rock.
Are you sick? Clinton paid what his aides called a routine visit to the doctors and then relaxed on the golf course, making no further comment about his deficit-cutting ideas. But a proposal he's considering to raise the Social Security retirement age is drawing some flack.
So it's a benefit cut, is what it amounts to. And the proposal that has been talked about is to have that benefit cut sooner.
Raising the retirement age would not affect current retirees, but it would delay full benefits for today's workers to those reaching age 66 in the year 2002 and 67 in 2008. The law now would raise the age to 67 in the year 2027.
You could just look at the possibility of moving up that effective date, which would save billions of dollars. You could raise the retirement age from a certain date.
According to one estimate, the change could save $60 billion over the next 20 years. But critics say it's much less fair than another controversial proposal, taxing more Social Security benefits.
The problem is that it really hurts most those people who have low wages, women, and particularly people who aren't covered by a private retirement plan.
Even so, political analysts say the proposal could be packaged in such a way as to make it politically palatable.
So what Clinton has to do is phase this in, which is what I believe he's planning to do, over a period of years, so that the current group who are, say, 60 to 65 years old won't be immediately affected, and that's where you could expect normally the greatest opposition.
Aides say the proposal is far from a sure thing, that it's just one of the options the president-elect is considering. Making the option public now gives him plenty of time to back off if it proves to be too unpopular.
In world news tonight, Operation Restore Hope in Somalia is gaining ground. Tomorrow, the famine-stricken town of Baidoa is scheduled to receive its first overload shipment of food in more than a month now. Here's Gene Randall with more from that.
We're told that 200 Marines, along with 80 to 90 Belgian troops, will come ashore at Kismayu Sunday morning, Somali time. Military officials say they expect it to be carried off without incident.
There are a number of different factions down there, and the control is probably not as firm as it was here. Nonetheless, all of our indications are that we should have an unopposed landing tomorrow.
The move to Kismayo will come 4 days after the Marines marched into Baidoa. And Sunday will see the first overland shipment of food to Baidoa, a direct result of the U.S.-led military operation there. Spokesman Colonel Fred Peck says the idea is to make food piracy outdated.
What we're going to try to do, rather than stick around and try and guard every grain of rice that's out there that we might deliver to a feeding site, is to try and push more and more and more and more food out from each regional center that we work at. That's our end game here, to devalue food as a product for larceny, to devalue it as the currency of power in this country.
The number of American ground troops in Somalia, almost exclusively Marines, is up to 6,000, with 7,600 U.S. sailors offshore. On the chaotic Somali political front, more talks, but still no agreement between the country's two major warlords on when to remove their armed technical vehicles from the capital city. Most are now in storage lots. And there was a rare political demonstration in Mogadishu Saturday, a small, mainly pro-U.S. rally where there were some complaints that there was a need for more food and greater security in the streets.
Elsewhere, the situation in Israel's Gaza Strip has become explosive now. 6 Arabs were shot and killed today, and as many as 31 others wounded in clashes with Israeli soldiers. The Palestinians were killed by Israeli troops during riots to protest the deportation of more than 400 suspected Muslim fundamentalists. The unrest began when a 10-day-old curfew was briefly lifted so Palestinians could get food and other necessities. 11 at 11 continues now with your first look at the weather forecast. Meteorologist Mike Latella standing by, as always, in our weather center. Mike?
Well, Jerry, the rains have begun falling across the city and will continue to spread eastward over the next couple of hours or so. If we take a look at composite radar, you can actually see radar not quite picking up the rain showers, but they have begun across the city. Some of the heavier rains just working their way into northwest Monroe County over the last hour or so. All this is being caused by a system moving across the region, generally from the west. Again, some clearing out there to the east, but we will see clouding over and some showers developing. However, look to the west. There is some much, much colder air. And folks, anyone can draw this cold front in there. 44 in Cleveland, 17 up over the northern portions of Michigan, -9 International Falls, Wisconsin. Luckily, that air is moving to the north and will not be in here. That strong cold front will not be in here as well. Cloudy skies, breezy overnight. The rains have begun. It will change to snow. Figure 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning at best. No accumulation here in the city. Maybe an inch to the hills to the south of the city. Now for later tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies in the morning, breezy. A little bit of snow in the morning. Might accumulate an inch again, mostly to the southern hills of Rochester. We could even see some afternoon sunshine. That would certainly be nice. Temperatures will hold steady in the middle 30s. Now, when we come back in the complete weather segment, we'll take a little bit look at the extended outlook. We'll tell you what you can expect for the rest of the weekend and for your back to work on Monday. Jerry?
See you then. Meantime, Jim Noble is here with First Sports.
All right, thanks, Jerry. The win streak was 4 tonight as the Amerks headed down the thruway to Utica. Last night, the Devils really outplayed Rochester, although the Amerks did pull out an overtime win tonight at Memorial Auditorium. Ones were wild. Amerks, Utica, tie at 1. Pete Savaglia, the lone Amerk goal. To the NHL now, the Buffalo Sabres visiting Montreal. Look at the Canadiens. Brian Bellows parked out front, slides it under Lazic. 1-0 Canadiens. It was 3-0 in the second when Buffalo's Wayne Presley breaks loose. The shorthanded goal, but not nearly enough. Montreal over the Sabres, 4-2. Another Saturday edition of the NFL, this time from the Meadowlands. The Giants in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, but they somehow turned it around. Looked like the Giants of old today against Kansas City. Jeff Hostetler made a triumphant return. He'll drop back and find Chris Callaway diving in the end zone just before halftime. 21-7 Giants. A big, big day for Rodney Hampton. 3 touchdowns. This one good for 20 yards. However, it's probably too little too late for Ray Hanley, but the Giants do pull off a 35-21 win. One other game, San Francisco has wrapped up everything in the NFC West. They beat Tampa Bay 21-14. And for those high school basketball teams who had Friday night off, it was tournament time today. East High hosting its holiday tourney. This is game 1, Marshall and Westdale of Ontario. Derek Farmer led Marshall with 25, 2 of those there. As the ball came up, Tony Alvarado will steal it, take it himself, Marshall 90, Westdale 60 in that tournament. East beat Turner Carroll 79-65. And in the NBA, the Knicks over Miami 91-87. And John Wallace had a big night for Syracuse. We'll tell you about that later on.
Okay, catch up with you then, Jim. Thanks. Meantime, a turkey and all the trimmings for those in need. And the Festival of Lights began today at sundown, all coming up next.
It's Lauer's Furniture Holiday Sale. Buy a complete living room, dining room, or bedroom set at savings of 20 to 70% and receive a free Lane Cedar Chester Bassett recliner. Lauer's.
Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs is coming to the Rochester War Memorial. All tickets for opening night, January 7th at 7 p.m. will be only $7. This special night is sponsored by Channel 8 and Wegmans. Tickets for Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs are available at Ticketmaster or by calling 232-1900.
Come visit downtown Rochester for festive family fun. Share the cheer of yesteryear till all your shopping's done.
There's no hometown like downtown for the holidays, thanks to favorite free traditions like downtown's dazzling twinkle lights, the holiday parade, New High Falls laser show, the Magic Mountain, model trains, RPO concert, New Year's early eve and more. Call 428-6697 for updates from the elves of downtown Rochester.
So many of us take for granted our next meal, but there are families right here in Rochester who won't be able to afford a holiday dinner.
Your $50 gift will make it possible for a family to afford enough food for the holidays. Look through this catalog, make a selection, and mail your contribution.
Pick up your brochure at any Wegmans, First Federal, or Kaufman's. Please, this holiday, give a gift from your heart with 8 caring gifts.
Well, hundreds of Rochester families waited in long lines outside this morning to receive a free holiday basket. Volunteers of America handed out 1,200 baskets to those in need today, each basket containing a turkey with all the trimmings and then small gifts for the children. And this was all made possible by the many people who have responded to the 8 Caring Gifts campaign, sponsored by Channel 8 and the Volunteers of America. And by the way, if you'd like to help, there's still plenty of time. You can brighten a family's holiday by calling us here at the station or call Volunteers of America, the phone number on your screen, 454-1150. Rochester's Men in Blue, meanwhile, were also out today delivering holiday baskets in the city's lake section. The holiday food drive is sponsored each year through Act One, Against Crime Together. It's a community crime prevention service that involves the police and residents and area merchants, too. 100 baskets were delivered today. The celebration of Hanukkah also began tonight for Jews around the world. Here in Rochester, there was a gala community-wide kindling ceremony at the downtown menorah. The first candle lit by Monroe County Executive Bob King. Traditional holiday food then served, and children received toys and candy. The giant menorah at the park and 2 others were erected by the Jewish organization Chabad Lubavitch. And the Harwick Road Caroliers, they were out in force tonight, raising their voices in song. They made their way along Harwick Road and through other neighboring streets, spreading the joy of the holiday season. Many of the houses along the way were decorated, and then after tonight's caroling, a party at one of the neighbors, and then a prize for the best decorations. Meteorologist Mike Latella back with us in a minute with a complete weather forecast. That's when Eyewitness News returns.
And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call it.
There's a new name in banking in New York State. A bank with over 320 branches and 200 ATMs throughout New York. An array of products and banking technology that are simply unparalleled for speed and convenience. The commitment and resources to make a meaningful difference to your community and to your life every single day. Fleet Bank, we're here to make a difference.
Hi there, struggling artists. We're the local company with the greatest variety and truest of art sales. Hundreds of original oil paintings for as low as $5. We've rolled back to our 1981 prices. No sofa size painting over $35. No sofa size frame over $35. For only $35, you can make your walls smile. This Sunday, only 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Radisson and Jefferson Road. Only $35. Only $35.
A bigger choice, a better choice. You know who it is, don't you? Tops Friendly Markets, right? Why do we think it's important to offer a bigger choice of products at better prices? Because you want to make your shopping dollars count, and that means finding the brands you want at the prices you like in every department, every day. A bigger choice, a better choice. It's not just our slogan, it's our promise to you, Rochester. Thank you for choosing Tops.
It took the kids back and forth to school 13,752 times. It took the family to the Adirondacks every summer. And after all that, your dealer says it's only worth about $800. To us, it's worth everything. If you have a car, a boat, or RV, call the Volunteers of America today and donate. You'll get the tax advantage, and you'll help the disadvantaged. It's the American way.
Great entertainment is back every week because Ed Sullivan is back.
Saturday at 11:30 on Channel 8.
Yeah, we hope everybody enjoyed today because there's kind of a beauty of a day,
Yeah.
really, almost spring-like. But now there's a little break before it returns.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that most of the rain activity will happen during the overnight hours. And
It's raining now, isn't it?
It's raining right now,
Yeah.
and it's just moving really quickly across the area. We might actually see a little sun towards the afternoon tomorrow. So,
all right.
Not bad. Most of it will fall at night. Light rain at the station right now, 43 degrees, humidity 68. Winds out of the south. The pressure is falling. Across the Weather Watcher network, here are your current conditions as of about 10:30 this evening. Most folks still in the 40s, still relatively mild for this time of year, but we will be seeing cooler air working its way in for everyone over the next couple of hours or so. Now, on the satellite picture, you can see the radar across the northeast showing the rains beginning to move out to the east at quite a quick rate, some 40 to 45 miles per hour, some heavier rains working their way into northwest Monroe County. Again, once these rains push out, we could actually see a little bit in the way of sunshine for tomorrow. Certainly good news. Now, on the satellite picture, again, the precipitation is moving out to the east. Here's the clearing now moving in. Chicago is actually clearing out over the last hour or so. They're down to 29 degrees, so some pretty cold air is moving in that way, also below zero up over northern Minnesota. But again, that air is moving out to the east. I don't think we'll get into the really, really cold air this time, but later next week we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. For tomorrow, that front will make a beeline for the east coast. A little bit of a westerly flow giving us a little bit of lake snow shower activity, but I think the sun will break out in the afternoon as high pressure builds in from the west, so that is certainly not bad. 30 degrees will do it, 30, 35, steady temperatures for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, football time, the Bills are playing in New Orleans. That's an indoor game, but with playoff implications and home field advantage, I thought I'd show you what's going on elsewhere. The Jets are playing in Miami. Not a bad day. Cheer on those Jets. And the Vikings, who are playing in Pittsburgh, 38 degrees. Now, Christmas is also around the corner. Again, third straight computer model suggesting a very, very cold Christmas with some lake effect snows, and we could actually have a white Christmas. It's looking better and better every day. We'll keep you updated as we go along. For tonight, they're breezy and turning colder. Light snow right now will change, light rain right now will change to snow during the overnight hours. Not looking for anything in the way of accumulation here in town. Again, the hills to the south might pick up a quick inch or so. Now, later on tomorrow, again, the snow will end probably during the morning hours. Could see some sunshine during the afternoon, steady temperatures in the middle 30s. Extended outlook for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A nice day for Monday and for Wednesday, sandwiched in between a little bit of light snow with generally seasonable temperatures throughout. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. We'll take it a day at a time. Thank you, Michael. What else is coming up in sports?
Mr. Wallace had quite a night up the road a bit, Jerry. The Wallace Watch continues in Syracuse. The Amerks go for number 4 in a row, and the Sabres head to the Forum for a date with the Canadiens. Sports is next.
Completely beat by Presley. That wasn't even close. And the Sabres are on.
Rosa and Sullivan's Giant Super Week sale is on now with super savings on all color TVs and audio, video, computers, major appliances, and more. The super sale at Rosa and Sullivan.
Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs is coming to the Rochester War Memorial. All tickets for opening night, January 7th at 7 p.m. will be only $7. This special night is sponsored by Channel 8 and Wegmans. Tickets for Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs are available at Ticketmaster or by calling 232-1900.
On the next Maury.
She had her up and threw over her head and slammed her to the floor.
For 37 years, she kept the secret that her mother killed her baby sister.
Did you ever say to her, we saw what you did?
She would have killed us too.
Hear how they say living with memories of murder is forcing these women to testify against their own mothers. Then, Brothers Keeper will talk with the hometown folks who helped clear a man of killing his brother on the next Maury Povich Show.
Turn to the Maury Povich Show, Monday at 4 on Channel 8.
Double your buying power this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All of our gigantic selection of oil paintings are buy one, get one free. Affordable oil paintings, Greasetown Mall.
Great entertainment is back every week because Ed Sullivan is back.
Saturday at 11:30 on Channel 8.
Stories.
She's over here screwing around with me.
Studs.
Yeah, that's me, all right.
Stars.
Oh, my God.
Soaps.
Boing.
Sex. Sisters.
Oh, yes, I
Scandals.
love you heard it here first.
Even snakes.
Oh, God, I need a beer.
The laughs are always on Vicky.
Well, for heaven's sake.
Turn to Vicky, weekday mornings at 9 on Channel 8.
And Jim's back with us to talk a little bit about tomorrow, the Bills down in New Orleans.
I hope they're not out late on Bourbon Street tonight. About this time tomorrow, we should have a good idea of exactly what the Buffalo Bills are made of. The Bills will knock heads with the New Orleans Saints tomorrow at the Superdome. The Saints, of course, owners of the league's best defense, and they'll all be gunning for Jim Kelly.
I'm not worrying about, that's one thing I think as a quarterback you start worrying about doing things and it's going to throw you off your game plan. And this is a type of game where I just got to go out and be myself and just feel free to do what I feel is best.
The Bills an underdog for the first time in 3 months. Now, meanwhile, can you believe what happened at the Meadowlands today? The Giants seemed to have packed it in for the season, but they had one big ball game left. And it came today against the Chiefs with Lawrence Taylor looking on. Jeff Hostetler, first time he's played in about a month. Watch him hit Mark Ingram. 21 yards on the score, 7-0. Then Hostetler just before halftime to Chris Callaway, who makes a nice catch as he goes into the end zone. 16 yards, 21-7 at the half. Rodney Hampton had 84 yards rushing and 3 scores. This one a 20-yard scamper. Giants take it 35-21. Later on, the 49ers hosted Tampa Bay. The Bucs hung tough. Reggie Cobb rolls in, making it 14-all in the fourth, but then Steve Young looks deep to Jerry Rice. 30-yard touchdown. Then Niners take it 21-14. To basketball now, John Wallace and the Syracuse Orangemen taking advantage of another Jim Boeheim early season cream puff schedule. Wagner, the sacrificial lamb tonight at the Dome. John Wallace, 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 block shots. The Orangemen roll 85-52. Best college matchup nationally, Indiana hosting Cincinnati. That's Calbert Cheney capping off a 12-0 Hoosier run in the first. This one, all Indiana. Damon Bailey with the layup. Indiana easily 79-64. To the scoreboard, Kansas just squeaks by East Tennessee. Kentucky rolls over Morehead State. Michigan, no problem with Iowa State. Florida State by 4 over North Carolina Charlotte. High school action over at Roberts Wesleyan, the West Side Tournament. Churchville, Chili, and Hilton. John Barry goes baseline, gets the roll. Hilton led this one late. Now Brendan O'Toole tries to lead the Saints back with a bomb of a three-pointer, but it was not enough. Hilton holds on 67-63 elsewhere. East over Turner Carroll out of Buffalo. Marshall wins by 30. Edison, 3 better than Spencerport. Brockport, easy win. And Wilson knocking off Gates Chili. NBA now. The Knicks bringing a 4-game win streak into Madison Square Garden and a matchup with the struggling Miami Heat. Miami had never won in the Big Apple. Pat Riley hoping that trend continued. Patrick Ewing, a big game. 24 points, 26 rebounds. That's the most in the league this year. Glenn Rice, however, keeping Miami in it, ties it up with a 3-pointer. The Knicks led this one by 2. The clock winding down. Miami have the ball. Rice cannot get his shot off. Good D by Anthony Mason. Knicks take it 91-87. Also tonight, Orlando rolling over Atlanta. Cleveland beating Utah. Indiana taking the Nets 124-110. Charlotte over Washington. Sixers 2 better than the Bulls, and Houston beats Dallas. On the ice, the Amerks, after that thrilling overtime win last night at the War Memorial, had a return engagement with the Utica Devils tonight. This one played on Devils home ice, ends up in a tie 1-1. The Buffalo Sabres went north of the border to face the Canadiens in Montreal. Matthew Schneider. Big blast pass. Dominic Vlasic making it 2-0. Sabres' Wayne Presley breaks loose, shorthanded. He will beat Patrick Roy, but it's not enough. Montreal takes it 4-2. On the scoreboard, Flyers over Chicago. Islanders beat Pittsburgh. Bruins won better than the Caps. Rangers and Hartford knotted at 4. Calgary beats L.A. Detroit and Minnesota tie. Toronto over Ottawa. And Winnipeg leading St. Louis. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Meanwhile, Voices Raised in Song. There was a very special Christmas concert by the Bethel Full Gospel Church Choir. In just a minute.
Wake up, Rochester. CBS This Morning is making more time for you.
More news, more weather, more sports.
More time for local news, area weather, traffic updates, for more of what's going on in your neighborhood and around the world.
I'm Harry Smith.
And I'm Paula Zock.
I'm Dwayne Brozak.
And I'm Glenn Richards.
Wake up to Eyewitness News and CBS This Morning, the only morning team that gives you more.
Sports, more traffic, more...
Weekday mornings starting at 7, only on Channel 8.
This year, you can spend less on holiday gifts, but you won't have to give less. Hi, I'm Max for Office Max, where we have thousands of useful gifts drastically discounted every day.
You can never have too many Duracell batteries at holiday time, and Office Max has the full line at great low prices. And save 55% on the Wallace 3-piece drafting set with table, chair, and side organizer.
Useful gifts that leave you with something we all could use, a little extra cash. Office Max, where savings is the bottom line.
Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs is coming to the Rochester War Memorial. All tickets for opening night, January 7th at 7 p.m. will be only $7. This special night is sponsored by Channel 8 and Wegmans. Tickets for Sesame Street Live's all-new Big Bird and the ABCs are available at Ticketmaster or by calling 232-1900.
If you're like most people, the weekly trip to the supermarket represents a major portion of your household budget. You want real value for your dollars. You want to be able to choose the brands you trust and the sizes you need. One local supermarket, Tops Friendly Markets, offers bigger choices of brand name products. Tops, a bigger choice, a better choice.
No wonder more and more people are shopping at Tops.
And before saying goodnight, here's Mike once again. We'll kind of review what we're going to wake up to tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a little bit of light rain now. That should change over to light snow during the morning. Not too much in the way of accumulation, so no need to worry. Again, around breakfast time, 33 degrees. We remain in the 30s during the day. Could see a little sun during the afternoon.
And a pretty good day on Monday.
Fantastic day on Monday.
Thank you. Jim?
We will wake up to the Bills. Actually, I hope you're up before 12:30, but the Bills in New Orleans tomorrow will have a full report.
Okay, look for it then. And that is our report for this Saturday night. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you now with the sounds of the Christmas concert provided by the Bethel Full Gospel Church Choir and Orchestra, performed earlier this evening. See you tomorrow night at 6:30. Have a good Sunday, everybody, and good night.
Eyewitness News, sponsored by Rochester Tel Mobile, providing cellular and paging services in the Rochester area.